Welcome to Grant Takes Pictures. I'm Grant, and I take pictures. Today is December 31st, and so I'm going to take this opportunity to look back at 2019 and look ahead to 2020, see what has changed, and where I hope to go with my photography. 2019 was a year of immense change in my photography where I tried to get a little bit more serious about it. And one of the things that many people on Instagram do is look at their top 9 photos of the year, of the photos that are most liked by the Instagram community. I think that's a terrible metric to judge photos by, so I'm going to do my top 12 photos that I liked this year and talk about some of the trips that I went on to capture these photos. And partly I'm doing top 12 because I like the alliteration more. Top 12 sounds much better than top 9. And I just had a hard time narrowing it down to 12 photos that I liked. So I started my year off on a trip that I had been wanting to do for years and years, and that was to Yosemite for Firefall. I was lucky enough to capture it. I've heard about photographers going for 5 or 10 years before they are ever able to see Firefall. I'm hoping to go again in 2020, and this was one of my very favorite photos of the year. This one of Firefall of Horsetail Falls, just as the sun was setting. And I'm going to try to capture it again. Also on that trip, I got this photo of El Capitan, which was a midday shot showing the beautiful snowy banks of the Merced River. And there's just something about this photo that I love. Throughout the year, I also went to Joshua Tree numerous times, and one of the photos that I captured was this one of the Milky Way with a lone Joshua Tree. This photo was taken at night in a single image, and the foreground is just lit up by the moon, and I think it's an absolutely gorgeous image. I absolutely love it. I also went up to one of the most popular places on Instagram to take pictures at Mickway Falls. And I went up there to try to get pictures of the Milky Way. And I got some, but it was an absolutely moonless night. It was the darkest skies I'd ever seen in my life. But on the way back, I stopped in a place called Lost Hills, where Chevron has an oil field. And you will notice there are no hills in this photo. It is pan flat. But I really just love this photo of this oil well. It shows just how desolate and ugly this whole area is, but I think it's a moving photo to me. I also made a couple additional trips to Yosemite this year. The best one was probably my trip with my kids. I did shoot a video there, and so if you watch that video, you've seen a couple of these pictures. But these few pictures of the lakes of Yosemite at sunrise and sunset reflecting the mountains, and this one of the moon setting over the tree line are just, I think, some of the best pictures I took this year. It's amazing to me that I shot all 3 of these pictures within about a 48-hour window, and they're 3 of my favorite pictures. I also, living in Orange County, went to the beach quite a bit to take photos. We have this one from Balboa Peninsula looking north to the Newport Pier, and I think it captures something about the late summer sunsets at the beach here in California that seem pretty unique. And this hazy air, hazy water coming up off the ocean, I think it captures that beautifully. And then I had a whole series of photos of piers this year, both of Balboa Pier and San Clemente Pier. So this one, taken on the same day as the previous picture, actually, of Balboa Pier with the moon setting over rubies, the blurred water of the waves, and the sky that transitions from this yellow, orange, white color to this purpley blue at the top. And I think it's another gorgeous picture. There's this one of San Clemente Pier, also sunset. This was a 5-minute exposure, so the water is just a hazy, blurry mess. The people on the pier are just ghosts, and the sunset was gorgeous that day. And then 2 photos I took just recently. It was my last video, and so you've seen these already if you watch that video. But this one of the Balboa Pier with these big puffy clouds right at sunrise. And then one from under the pier where I unfortunately destroyed my T4i. So that was my year in 2019. So in 2020, there's a couple things I want to do. My Christmas Day excursion down to Balboa, where I took these pictures and destroyed my camera, reminded me just how much I like taking pictures. And I'm going to try to get back into it. Really, at the end of 2019, I didn't take pictures for nearly 3 months. Hopefully I can get back into it in 2020. My first trip that I'm planning is to Yosemite for Firefall. And I hope to be able to capture it again this year. I'm going to go for a longer period of time. Last year I was only up there for 1 night to capture it. This year I'm planning to stay up there for 4 nights. Give me a little bit more chance to capture it. I also got myself some micro spikes so I won't fall this year. And then this summer there are 3 shots I want to get of the Milky Way. One I've been trying to figure out how to do for almost 2 years now. It's of Half Dome from North Dome with the Milky Way in the background. And there's only 1 weekend a year where it works. This one is in late May this year. Last year, there was still too much snow on the ground, and I couldn't get to North Dome. I'm hoping by May this year there will be less snow. If it is still snowed in this year, I will have to wait until next June 2021. I also want to hike up Angel's Landing in Zion National Park. So in June, I'm planning on doing that and staying on top of Angel's Landing all night long to get some pictures of the Milky Way over the valley there. And then I want to head out to Death Valley in July. Nice cool time of year to be out there to get some pictures of the racetrack playa with the Milky Way over it. There's a couple other trips that I plan on doing. For Christmas this year, my son got his first backpacking backpack, so he and I are going to go backpacking a couple times this year. I'm going to shoot videos of those. I don't know how much photography we will do, but we're going to go out to Joshua Tree in late February or early March. We're going to try to do either San Jacinto or go out to Channel Islands National Park, or maybe do both. And maybe even try to do a longer backpacking trip from Tuolumne Meadows down to the valley of Yosemite. And I am hoping to at least do some travel logs, even if I'm not doing photography on those trips. And then a couple other things related to photography, a couple changes that I'm trying to make this year. As you can see, I've been using Lightroom. I am no longer using Adobe Creative Suite for work, so I can't really justify the cost of it anymore. So I think I'm going to try to just transfer away from Lightroom and go to Capture One. We'll see if it works. I'm going to try it out in January and February. Every year I start a new Lightroom catalog at the beginning of the year. So now here at the beginning of 2020, it'll be a perfect time to start a new catalog and to jump over to Capture One instead of Lightroom. So I'm spending $600 a year right now on Adobe Creative Suite. I think that money could better be spent on other things, on lenses, on trips, on anything else. So I will have Capture One paid for in the first 6 months of using it, and then I will hopefully never have to pay for photography software again. Ha! But anyways, that's my plan. So those are the things I'm looking forward to in 2020. I had a great 2019, 12 wonderful photos, All 12 of these photos are available for sale on my website, and they are up there in limited editions. So there are 5 of them each. A couple of them have already been sold, but if you would like one of these, stop on by to granthenninger.com/prints, where you can find these for sale. So I hope to see you throughout 2020. We can take some great photos together and have a good time just making beautiful things. Until then, have a great day and Happy New Year.